Welcome guys, thank you for joining us for our STEAM program. This is our second one. We're going to be trying to do one of these every week, showing you guys a few different things that you can make at home. Now the last one was slime, and one of the things we talked about with the slime was to make sure that you don't eat it, because it is not good for you to eat at all. But today we are going to make something that you can eat. We are going to be making candy. Now, to make your own candy, you're going to need a couple of ingredients and a couple of tools. So I'm going to go through those real quick and then we'll get started. So your first ingredient, of course, is going to be sugar. And you're going to need about a cup of sugar. You're going to need some water. Now the water needs to be hot. So if you're going to microwave it or anything and get it nice and hot, you might want to get a parent to help with it. And you're only going to need about a tablespoon of water, so you're not going to need a whole lot. You're going to need to give your candy some flavor, otherwise it's just sugar. Now, I've got some little oils. I got peppermint oil, lemon oil, and orange oil, and they're in these tiny little vials. Doesn't take a lot of them. If you guys don't have something like that at home, you maybe try using some vanilla extract or maybe some cinnamon. And I've also heard that drink mixes will work with this pretty well too. Now you're also going to want to do something to give your candy some color, so I've got a little pack of food coloring. Alright, so the tools you're going to need some sort of bowl or container to mix your sugar in. You're going to need about a cup of sugar, so I've got this big measuring cup right here that we'll be using. Like I said, you're going to need a tablespoon of water. So there's a tablespoon. And you need something to mix it all together. And then once you get it all mixed up, you need something to shape your candy. Now I've got these cool little silicone ice cube trays. They're all Halloween themed, because we did this back in Halloween a couple months ago. But we'll do it again today. I'm going to use the pumpkin one. It's a little less scary than the skull and the brain. But if you don't have those at home, you can use just a regular ice cube tray, or you can use the sugar mixture to shape your own pieces. After you get that done and they set up and make candy, what you can do then is you can decorate them. And you can use anything from icing, decorating gel pens, food coloring itself, or I've got these cool little things here. They're food markers, and they look like just regular magic markers, but they are made to draw and write on food. So I'm going to get started in just a second mixing it all together for you, but before I do that, I need to go and wash my hands. Anytime you guys are working with food, before you get started, it's a good idea to make sure you wash your hands, get any sort of germs off of them, so that the people who eat your food, including yourself, won't end up getting sick. So I'm going to do that, and when I come back, we'll start mixing everything together. Okay guys, let's go ahead and we're going to make our candy. I'm going to go ahead and grab the sugar. We need about a cup of sugar in our container right here. Pour some in. Let's see, about half a cup. A little bit more. And we are at a cup. Then we're going to take our teaspoon, or tablespoon, I mean, get a little bit of the water and we're going to dump it in there. And then we're going to get our spoon and we're going to mix it around. Get nice and mixed. We're going to add our flavor, which I'm going to put in some lemon oil. And we just need a few drips of it. One more drip. I think I put too much in. It's kind of hard to tell with this sometimes. So I'll mix that a little bit. You can smell the lemons. I wish you guys could smell it through the camera because it smells really lemony. We're going to do some food coloring, and I'm going to use this teal blue color because I kind of like it. And we just put 1, 2, well, it looks like I got 3 drips in there. And then we start mixing. And as you can mix it, you can start to see how it gets through. And we'll make sure you're getting down on the bottom and mixing it really good. And as you mix, kind of chop a little bit with your spoon to break the sugar up. And it should be, like if you guys have ever played in a sandbox and put a little water in your sand, it should be kind of like that, like wet sand. Not completely dry, but just wet enough that it kind of clumps and sticks together. And I think we've got it done pretty decently. So now you're going to take your mold, and in this case I've got the pumpkin one, and you're going to get yourself a spoonful of your sugar mix. Now 1 cup should be enough to do at least one of these molds. It might even actually do a little bit more depending on what sort of shape your mold is and how deep it is. If you're doing just a regular ice cube tray, I would only fill them up about halfway, no more than that. Otherwise you're going to get a big sugar overload. So you just take your sugar and you mash it in with a spoon and scrape off any extra into another part of the mold and just push some more in so it's filled up to the top. Scrape it, and don't worry if it's not going all into the same place because you're going to end up with all of them filled anyways. And don't worry about if you drop some on the table too. That's why paper towels exist. You know, wipe everything up. So what you're going to do is you're just going to keep going until you fill all of these up. I'm not going to do that because that will take a little bit too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish this up off the camera, and then I will show you guys what it looks like when you're done. So I'll see you guys in just a second or two. Okay guys, now if you notice I've got it all filled up. Once you get the tray filled up, there's a couple of ways that you can get the candy ready, because if you dump it out without letting the candy set up the right way, you get just a pile of sugar. So what you need to do is let it sit for 24 hours. That way the water dries up and all the sugar sticks together. But if you're a little bit too impatient like me to wait 24 hours for the candy, you can take it, put it in the microwave for about 30 to 40 seconds. That should heat it up enough that it'll melt a little bit and stick together. Then put it in the refrigerator or the freezer for about a minute or two to cool it down, which is what I've done with this. Once you get it done, you should just be able to take it, dump it out on a paper towel or a paper plate. Oh, and you see some of them are coming out already. And let's see, that one, and oh, the last one there. And you'll end up with your pieces of candy. Now, you guys notice some of them have some air bubbles in them, some of them don't. The air bubbles are from where we probably should have packed the sugar just a little bit better. But they're still perfectly fine to eat and taste a whole lot like lemon. So guys, that is how we make candy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know how it goes for you. And remember, if you don't have the flavored oils at home, you can always try some things like drink mixes and things like that, and let me know what you guys used as your flavors and how it worked out for you. And I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you at story time. Good night.